Hello and welcome to another episode. I am Lisa Falconer, a conscious relationship and intimacy coach slash healer, and my main focus is helping women like you save their relationships, fix their relationships through mindset, embodiment, and energy. And that's really what we're going to be really covering today. And I'm going to be, I'm probably going to talk on things that's really going to trigger you. And I'm going to invite you to lean into what it brings up, lean into what lands for you and where you're really feeling discomfort. Because a lot of the times that's what actually goes wrong with our relationship, that we rely on comfort, we rely on ease. We rely on avoiding any uncomfortable moments or triggers or conflict. And then we kind of get wonder like, what happened to our relationship? And it's because we don't want to do what's uncomfortable. Okay. So I do encourage you to stick with me. And I say this because, just to give you a brief summary of what we're going to talk about, we're going to be talking about why we need to be worshipping our men, why we need to be worshipping our partner in order to have the relationship that we actually desire. Okay. And I say this in nearly all of my episodes that there's a difference between staying together. There's a difference between seeing your relationship as successful because you've been together for, 20 years and you've got so many kids versus measuring how happy are you in the relationship? How often do you go to bed feeling, God, I'm lucky? How often do you just wake up thinking, oh, thank God, and you consciously choose to be with your person? To me, that's what I'm about. Okay. So, worshipping men, and the reason why I say this is really going to trigger you because it triggered me. I hated seeing coaches online talking about worshipping their man. And I was like, that's not good. Why are they? And we're kind of like putting them on a pedestal. I'm not some woman just bowing down to my man, putting his needs above mine. And I had this very negative belief system around what it means or what it looks like to worship our man. So I, disregarded it. I even unfollowed all of these people. I was like, we're not in the, 80s anymore where that was, mums are stay-at-home moms. They manage the household, they cook, they do everything. And the only thing that they had, the only job the man had was to go to work, and that was it. And I'm like, we don't live in those days anymore. But this is what's wrong with our relationships nowadays. And I did an episode way back when. So if you want that episode, put it in the comments and I'll send it to you. But it was all about the old way of relating, the old way of relationships no longer works. Okay. It no longer creates happy relationships. Okay. In fact, the old way of doing it actually creates stagnant relationships. And the missing thing is we've somewhere along the way, we've stopped this worshipping business. And I'm going to change that word because I still don't really like that word. And I'm going to change it to respect. Okay. Because I see them as the same. So when I stopped viewing it as worship is bowing down, yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're my master. And switched it and changed it to respecting. That felt good for me. And that's what is missing in relationships. We don't respect our partners anymore. And, if you've got kids like me, we tell our kids, if someone's disrespecting you, if someone's not treating you how you deserve, if someone's mistreating you, they're talking down, they're critical of you, they're always nagging you, they're always making you feel like you're not good enough. We naturally tell them, well, stop being friends with them. You don't deserve that. Don't hang out with those people. But yet, in our own home, in our own relationship, we are doing the same thing. We're constantly belittling our partner, criticizing everything they do. We are talking down to them. We place all these demands and expectations on them. And then we get so resentful and angry because we're not getting what we want. And that's because we're not respecting. We're pushing them away. It's that repelling energy, just like we do with our kids. Well, don't play with them. Find someone else that will treat you right. It's the energy. We're doing the same thing unconsciously to our partners. We're repelling them. We're pushing them away because we're basically telling them that they're not good enough. And they're going in their little cave and retreating, walking on eggshells around us, being too scared to like do anything wrong because they're always in trouble. And like, leave a comment, okay, or reach out to me if this is you. Like, constantly, the amount of times I've been hurt, told by either my father or other men in my life, always feeling like they're in trouble. And that's so common because that's what we women do. We're constantly getting them in trouble. And this is what I want to teach you. We're not their mother. We're not their teacher. We're not their therapist. We're their lovers. We are wired differently. We will always communicate differently. We will do things differently, etc. Like, we can go into that in another episode. But as lovers, we need to learn to treat them as a lover. And that starts with respecting. Remember how you treated them when you first met them. There was an element of respect. Okay. But then somewhere along the way, kids, living together, life, stress, demands of life, we stop to put in the effort. Okay. And what I see in my clients' lives, or even in my life, is when we're respecting men, that is fucking attractive. That is magnetic to them. They're going to want to do more and more. They start to step up. They start to worship you because you're in the energy of worshiping. Okay. If you want to be adored and cherished and you want to be attractive to your partner, then you need to change how you treat them. You need to start to practice the art of respect. Respecting them is how you get them to find you freaking attractive. You're going to be more magnetic to them. They're going to want to be doing more for you. And ultimately, that's how your desires really get met in your relationship. That's how you start to get seen in your relationship. Okay. So I want this to land for you and just reflect on ways that you might be respecting versus disrespecting your partner. Okay, and this can be we can go so much deeper in this, but this is just what I need to land for you today because we teach our kids and friends to always be respected. That's one of all of our values is to be respectful, but yet we don't stop to see all the little ways, all the little comments, all the little moans or sighs or the rolling of the eyes. All the little, I've always said it, the comments that roll off the tongue that we do daily, that is disrespecting our partners. And then we wonder why we're not getting treated like a queen. Well, hello, you're not treating your man like a queen would treat a king. Basically, okay, so we don't need to look at it as worshipping. If worshipping does feel icky to you, it's not all about putting your men on a pedestal and they're more important than you. It's the fact that when you treat them like that, their desire is to make you happy. Their desire is to treat you like a queen. But you can't get treated like a queen if you've got this repelling energy and you're pushing them away and you're just basically like, that's not inviting. Okay. Being disrespectful is not an inviting energy. Okay. So that's it for today. Okay, if you do want to go deeper, make sure you book a relationship breakthrough healing session with me and we can heal anything that might be in the way of you getting the relationship with your current partner that you desire. And I will talk to you next week. Bye, my loves.